Still in Wilbarger County, and I just moved in on a job. I got here right before it rained. It come a little rain, but as you can see, the spillway on this little dam is completely gone. It's been worked on before by a couple other people, and it doesn't like probably 3 foot getting to the edge of the water, which when that happens, it'll wash out to the bottom of that ditch right there, which is probably 3.5 foot deep, and it'll drain that much water off of this tank, which by then it won't be hardly worth nothing once you take another 3 or 4 foot of water off the top of it. So I've got to repair that, and there's nothing you can do to this right now. I mean, it's done been fixed once before. As you can see, the dam drops down and there's this pile of dirt here. Well, obviously it has washed out once before, because it used to run behind the dam right through here. So whoever fixed it blocked this off where it was running before, and they went over here on the side of this hill and they dug another spillway out and took it down and let it dump there. But what happens, the dirt was so raw and it's so narrow that when it did spill, it started cutting right back up toward the tank. You've got to really watch where your tanks spill in this part of the country, because if you can't put topsoil back on what you do to where it'll grow grass, there's no way it's going to last if the ground stays just raw dirt. This dirt melts when it gets wet, and then if you got a cow trail walking up through there, the water starts running through it, and this is what happens. So all that can be done with this part is to block it off again where it don't run down here, and luckily enough we can go to the other side of the tank dam. I've already did some surveying, and we can let it go around on that side, which is good for him. I mean, there's things you can do. It involves a lot of rock and concrete or pipe, and that's so expensive. We always try to let it spill naturally in this part of the country if you can, because that seems to works the best. But every now and then something goes wrong, and there has been some oil field production out here, and down there next to the fence there's some soil that's not very good. But you've always got to keep an eye on your spillways, just like your dam. This dam is starting to weather away. As you can see, there's not hardly no topsoil on it, and this dirt just melts when it gets wet. So at one time this dam was probably a blade wide, or 10 foot to 12 foot wide on top, which still has plenty of freeboard to stand what we're going to do. But we will be raising the water level when we let it spill on this side. We'll be raising the water level 1.8 feet, almost 2 foot, which he still has enough dam so that you can do that. These flags that are on the front of the dam where they are in the ground will be the water level when it runs around this other side, which this is so much better than the other one. If I won't disturb nothing and just let it go around this side, he'll have to continue to watch it. And if he sees a war started, he's got one little bare spot there, but chances are the water's going to stay right here. But he's just got to watch it and be sure that don't get a cow trail or the grass starts to go. But this is basically the only thing he's got left to do, other than spend a whole lot of money trying to save it. But if he can let it go around this way. At one time, I talked to the NRCS, this thing was designed to spill both directions on both sides of the dam. For some reason that side over there washed out, so it went to spilling all over there instead of this side. But this is a good and wide spillway. Goes down through here, and there's plenty of grass for it to run on, and there's a long way to run on grass before it gets to that raw ground. I'm going to be getting my dirt to block this old spillway off right next to the water here, and that flag right there and this flag is still the spillway level of the new spillway, so everything I dig from here down will be underwater. So if the tank was lower, I could get closer to the water, but at least when the tank is full, this hole will appear to be all one hole, and once it gets down to this level again, maybe in the summertime, there'll be two separate holes, but that won't hurt nothing. And to fix this right here, you just can't back up here and shove dirt in it, because that dirt will not bond to a straight up and down wall. So I've got to come in here and cave all this in and slope it back, especially here where the water will be up against it. Now once you get down there, it's not so critical, but anytime you have water pressure up against the dam, you've got to fix this and slope it back, and then start putting the dirt in here and packing it down just like you would if it was going through the middle of the dam. If you was just to back up and just start filling dirt in this, once the water started rising up on the dam, it would find where that straight up and down wall is and start going through there, and eventually it would just blow it back out. But that'll be enough dirt coming out of there. It might be pretty deep, but it'll be a nice little hole beside this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and shape the rest of this, and told the landowner he might try to get something growing on here just in case the other side give it up later on down the road, another 10 or 15 years. We could let it go back down this side, but not until it had grass and stuff growing on it. So anyway, that's going to be the next project, so we'll let you know what it looks like when either we get finished or halfway there. So if you hadn't already, subscribe to this channel, hit a like button, send any comments or questions you have, and we'll try to get them answered for you. Bye. Okay, I've got it all cored out to where there's no straight up and down wall on there. It can be steep, it just can't be straight up and down. And what I'll do, I'll rip at where that dirt will bond with where that slope is, and I've got that kind of caved in down there where it sloped back where that wash was. I'll fill that in some more as I get closer to finishing up, because I'd rather have that water. If I fill it in, it'll get a little bit wider, and that'll keep it from washing maybe, because water's pouring off that hill right there and coming down there. And I did find a little bit of topsoil. That right there's a pile that I pulled back where I'm going to get the dirt to fill this in. The topsoil is so shallow around here. Of course, the closer to this water, it was a little deeper, but you get up there on that hill toward my pickup, and I bet the topsoil isn't 1 inch to 2 inches thick. So it's a commodity that you want to try to save when you can, because it'll grow grass if you have topsoil, but once you get into that, what's underneath that, it just won't hardly grow grass. It just melts, like I said. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do, start filling in this hole. After I rip that out, I pushed a little topsoil down on top of the dam over there. Maybe that'll get to growing something if he'll throw some grass seed on there. So I'll let y'all look at that and see what it looks like when I get a little closer to finishing. Talk to you later. Bye.